Top abandoned cities you should never visit. The world is full of magnificent cities, but some places have met their fate, and now they're just a reminder of their glorious past. In today's video, we will take you on a virtual tour of the 9 abandoned cities in the world which are no longer inhabited. But before we start, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like our content and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Number 1. Pripyat, Ukraine. Pripyat is the most famous city on the list. It was built as a nuclear city in 1970 and was home to numerous workers who used to work at a nearby power plant. The city was fully equipped with facilities including more than 13,000 apartments, schools, cafes, stores, cinemas, sports centers, and hospitals. Pripyat was ruined after a disaster at the nearby Chernobyl power plant in 1986 that caused the emission of harmful radiation that spanned all over the surrounding area. The city was immediately evacuated. People were not allowed to take their belongings as everything was affected by the detrimental radiation, so children's toys, school bags, books at the school, everything remained where it was at the time of the explosion. Nature gradually started to reclaim the city with plants and trees covering the abandoned buildings, changing the place into a ghost city. Nobody was allowed to visit. Although radiation levels dropped with time, still the place is not safe enough to reside. Number 2. Kolmanskop, Namibia. Kolmanskop is a ghost city in southern Namibia. The city was built in 1908 after some German workers found a diamond while working on the railway line. The subsequent discovery of diamond reserves led to the rapid influx of miners from several areas. After the inflow of enormous wealth, construction started, and this place was soon turned into a city having a hospital, school, power station, theater, and a lot more facilities. Kolmanskop was the most advanced city in the southern hemisphere. However, after World War II, the diamond field started to deplete, leading to departure of the residents. By 1956, Kolmanskop was completely turned into a ghost town. As the city was located in the desert, sand soon started to cover the buildings, changing Kolmanskop into a popular destination for photographers. Number 3. Krakow, Italy. Featured in movies like Quantum of Solace and The Passion of the Christ, Krakow is an ancient city that dates back to 1060. Throughout its history, the city witnessed many ups and downs, like conflicts between dynasties, a clash of ideologies and political influences, and an outbreak of the plague. Krakow was built on a steep peak. Its location did not only play a part in its defense, but also gave this town an incredible appearance. Although the city had gone through many calamities, massive landsliding, a devastating flood in 1972, and an earthquake in 1980 proved to be the final events that led to the complete abandonment of Krakow. Despite being abandoned for a long time, this hill town is one of the most popular tourist spots in Italy and was included in the World Monument Fund's watch list in 2010. Number 4. Wittenoom, Australia. Wittenoom was located near the city of Perth in Western Australia. This place became a mining site in 1937 when an important raw building material, asbestos, was found in this area. As asbestos was used in building tanks, battleships, airplanes, gas masks, and other equipment, its needs suddenly increased because of World War II. Due to massive mining and resulting activities in the area, Wittenoom became the largest town in the region. But the city could not remain inhabited for long because in 1955, it was revealed that asbestos was the risk factor for causing lung cancer in the majority of the population. By seeing the hazard, the Australian government started purchasing residents' properties to encourage them to evacuate the city. Eventually, in 2006, the government turned off the power supply to the town. All roads leading to the city were closed, and it was even removed from maps like the place never existed. Number 5. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia is a ghost city in Columbia County, Pennsylvania. It was founded during the Revolutionary War times after the discovery of large coal reserves. As a result of full-scale mining, the coal fire under the city of Centralia has been burning since 1962 and is estimated to continue for another 250 years. This posed a constant threat of not only fire beneath but carbon monoxide poisoning, which made people leave the city forever. After the departure of most of its residents, the government took control of the homes and properties, and eventually the city was condemned in 1992. The fire beneath Centralia eventually extended to the neighboring village of Barnesville, and it too had to be abandoned. Number 6. Hashima Island, Japan. Hashima Island in Japan is now just a vacant place of deteriorating concrete buildings, but it was once among the most populated cities in the world. Hashima, a small island located off the coast of Nagasaki, was first developed in 1887 as a coal mining settlement. Later, it was acquired by Mitsubishi, which transformed the entire place. They built some of the world's first multi-story concrete buildings to accommodate its bursting population. By the 1950s, this small place had over 5,200 residents. Other prominent structures in the city included schools, movie theaters, a hospital, a town hall, and several stores. Hashima remained the hub of several activities, especially during World War II, when many Korean and Chinese laborers were forced by the Japanese to work in its mines. However, the city was abandoned after the mines closed in 1974, and most of the residents left this place. The island remained entirely abandoned for the next 30 years, but the government decided to reopen the place for tourists in 2009. Number 7. Oradour-sur-Glane, France. Oradour-sur-Glane was a small farming village in France during World War II. This unfortunate place met its horrific fate on June 10, 1944, after a German-led massacre killed 642 of its inhabitants. Although a similar village was rebuilt nearby, President Charles de Gaulle ordered to preserve the city as a memorial to departed souls. A memorial museum was also built here in the martyred village in 1999. This museum has items recovered from the burnt buildings, watches stopped at the time of the incident, several personal items, and pieces of glass that melted due to the intense heat of the ammunition used here. Every year on the same day of June 10th, a commemoration ceremony is held to mark the anniversary of the massacre. Number 8. Varosha, Cyprus. The beautiful beaches of Varosha were among the most popular vacation resorts for millionaires in the early 1970s. Tourists used to come and enjoy their time in this serene place. But that all changed when Turkey invaded Cyprus in response to a Greek nationalist-led coup in 1974. More than 1,500 residents of Varosha had to leave the city in terror, leaving their assets and belongings behind. Many of them assumed they would return to their homes once the fighting stopped, but a constant political conflict made it impossible. As a result, this once cherished city of Varosha was left abandoned forever. Few adventurers who succeeded to have a peek into this now heavily guarded territory have reported that the resort has completely changed into a ghost town. Wild trees have grown through the buildings, and most of the belongings that were left behind are either looted or destroyed. What's left looks like a still shot from the 1970s, where the bell-bottoms can be seen hanging in shop windows and 50-year-old vehicles still parked at different places around the city. Number 9. Bodie, California. Bodie was founded in 1876 after miners discovered the rich deposits of precious metals like gold and silver. These reserves attracted an enormous number of people in the late 1870s, and soon the population climbed to over 10,000 people. Due to this influence of immense wealth in the city and unnoticed population growth, the place soon earned the reputation of Sea of the Sin, filled with prostitutes, criminals, and drugs. Like all other places on the list, Bodie eventually met its fate in the 1880s when the city's massive population with insufficient infrastructure and harsh weather conditions convinced the residents to move toward more favorable places. As a result, the population gradually decreased, and eventually, in the 1940s, the last person moved out. Since then, Bodie has become one of the best-preserved ghost towns. Its more than 200 buildings, including an 1880s Methodist church, saloons, a post office, and ruins of a burned-out bank vault, indicate that this uninhabited place was once the center of many social and economic activities. Conclusion: either it was a natural disaster, wars, or a variety of other calamities. But these once glorious and hustling cities are now just windows into the past that leave us to believe that nature eventually reclaims everything. So guys, which of these cities would you want to visit? Do share with us in the comment section, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.